Hi, my name is John Masadi. I'm the owner of Elite Personal Fitness, is where I am now. Now, I want to speak to you about our flagship program, which is our personal group fitness program, kind of what's different about it, how we created it, the story behind it, and kind of how it helps you get more results, feeling better, pretty much every reason why you would go to a gym. So before I opened this facility, I was running a sports performance franchise, and we had a small adult population, and most of the people that I was dealing with were on completely different spectrums of ability and age and injuries and the whole gamut, but they all loved training together. And I've always been on the nerdy side of creating programs for people, trying to figure out the best way, best exercises, best amount of work, best tempos, anything you can think of to try to give them the best workout and to get them on the fastest path to success. Now, with training that small group of adults, I kind of realized, I'm like, look, you guys are all getting the benefit of group fitness, which is, the camaraderie and also too the class times. There's usually more class times with group fitness, and there's also the group aspect of like everyone was waiting for the other person to show up, and they were more on time. They were always having more fun when they were training versus say a one-on-one. When you're kind of by yourself, you were kind of dictated based off of how you felt for that day instead of getting in a group of people that were excited to be there. It really elevated the mood for everybody. But also too, everyone wanted to work out together, but with everybody having different goals and also too very different abilities and injuries, it was like, well, we can't all do the same thing, so let's completely change this for you. Let's have you do this over there. This is going to bother your knee. Let's do this. Hey, you want to go harder on that? Sure, let's do that. And I'm like, we really should just be creating a program for every single person and then coaching them in a group setting. And there wasn't anything in the industry at that time. I still think we're the only people that do this. I mean, if there is somebody else that does it, that's awesome. I think they're on the right path. As far as I know, we're the only facility in the country, in the world, that does this. And what I did was I created a service that does exactly that. It gives you, the flexibility and the camaraderie of a group training. So you can come to multiple different times throughout the day. We create a program for you. You'll get coached every single time that you come. You're in a group setting. You get the benefit of having the one-on-one personal training that you would get, doing the one-on-ones with, say, a personal trainer, but it's at a lower cost point. So that is expensive. It's usually around $1 a minute, depending on what city you're in. Usually it can be much higher than that. But it's around $1 a minute typically. So it's at a much lower price point than, say, personal training. It's a little bit higher than regular group training because you're getting that added coaching and then the added personalization. But then also too, you have the equipment of, say, the commercial gym. I joke that I've spent way too much money on equipment. One, just because I like having options, and I like getting stuff. But I wanted to have kind of an answer to everyone's problem. So if I get one thing, I want other people to do it. So I usually have to get 4 of them. So if I do that, but then also too, there's somebody that has this knee issue. Well, if we had this one piece of equipment, that would kind of solve that. So then I would just get it, so that we would have unlimited options, and there's nothing that would really stop you or distract you from not being able to do it. So what happens usually in kind of group gyms or group fitness gyms, is it's usually, there's a group. You're getting a little bit more coaching than usual, but sometimes they're too hard. They only kind of cater to people that are already in good shape, and it kind of discourages people who want to get in shape to go and do those facilities. Or it's the other way around, way too easy, and they're kind of like, I can do a little bit more of this. This is kind of, for people that are older or weaker than I am, and I kind of need to be pushed a little bit more. So with that, we kind of even that out where I have people that are in wheelchairs next to people that can do 20 pull-ups in a row, so it doesn't matter really what fitness level that you're at. We have people that have trouble getting up and off the ground. We have people that can, lift crazy amounts of poundage, in a bunch of different lifts. And this whole service is based around giving you guys the service that actually should be out in the fitness world. I think the fitness industry is doing a disservice to people because it gets you into kind of like, hey, you're either going to do the commercial gym or you have nobody helping you. You're on your own. Maybe you get a trainer to walk you through the first day, or if you know somebody off the side, you're like, hey, can you show me how to use this machine? You kind of have access to all this stuff. You have the access to the whole fitness world, but you have no guidance with it. Personal group fitness, you have the camaraderie. You should be getting a much more coaching, but not enough to where it's personalized, but still better than the commercial gym where you're not really getting anything. But then getting the cream of the crop service of the personal training, where yes, times are limited. It's going to be harder to get a slot, especially with a coach that, has a good name, has a good reputation. Usually they're booked up, they're harder to get into, and they're not ideal, so you don't have the availability, but you are getting like the best of the best service. Now, we just took all of those things and kind of mashed them together and created systems so that everybody can have a personalized program. You have a coach that would be creating your program and you have contact with, so you guys can keep in contact and make sure that you're getting the program that you want. And exercises that you want to do, or body parts you want to work on, or specific things, goals that you have outside of the facility. Maybe it's you want to run a half marathon and you want to get in better shape for that and be stronger so you don't get hurt while you're doing your stuff on the road. We can also help you with stuff that you're doing on the outside. And also too, nutrition. I never wanted this to be a service where, I'm like, hey, to get more of the answers, you have to pay more. So we just included that with our personal group fitness program. We actually have a course that we've created that we created just for our members to answer every single nutrition question they would ever have. And we have modules. It's a self-paced course online that can walk you through any question that you'd ever have with nutrition, then get you on the right path and blueprint to eat for you what level that you're at, it's not a diet. We're pretty much trying to get you away from diet culture. But you get that included with it, and if you have any questions on it or anything specific, your coach just walks you through it and you get all the answers to everything. So I think that this is the premier product in the fitness industry, and I made it that way because I knew that people deserved more. I think people need more personalization. I know people love being in groups, so we put it all together to give you guys the best of the best. And pretty much how this works is we start you with an initial assessment because we have to create a personalized program for you. So I have to know what you're capable of. I have to know what your mobility is like. I want to know what your goals are. I want to know where you came from. I want to know everything about you. We know every single person in the facility. So I want to know about your kids. I want to know about what you do for work. I want to know about you. So we can come in, this can kind of be a place where, it's your third home. They say your home, then your work and your gym is going to be your third place or your third home. We want to make it that for you. So we want to learn all about you. Then we want to see, hey, what's a good starting point for you? It's not like, hey, this is good or this is bad. It's like, hey, let's just see where you're at. And then from there, we can create a program for you. And it's the same thing with nutrition. It's not like, hey, I want to completely change all these things and then start here. It's like, no, you're here. Let's get you to there. And then let's slowly work on it and coach you through it. After that, you choose our programs. We have 2 membership options. It's very easy. I tried to make this as simple as I can. We have a 3-day a week, and then we have an unlimited, which would be 6 days a week program. So our membership and how that works, you really only pay for the initial assessment, and then after that, you just pay your monthly dues. There's no contracts. I think that us locking you into a contract is scaring you and making you more risk adverse to going into a gym. I think that life happens and we're flexible with everybody. If you want to cancel, there's no cancellation fees. You're not locked into anything. We want this to be an awesome experience for you. I want exercise to not be an intimidating thing. I want you to do it for the rest of your life. And you have the flexibility. Like, this shouldn't be a high pressured thing. I want you to get healthy. I want you to exercise. I want you to eat right. I learned from myself of how that felt when I wasn't doing that, and then I changed my life by going forward and exercising more and eating right, and I know what that feels like, and I'm trying to spread that to everybody else. That's why I got into this field. That's why I opened up a facility, and we're doing it the way that we're doing it, because I feel like that is the best way to help people go onto that path and become, better versions of yourself, feel better, create better, healthier families, and then going forward, affecting other people outside of you just by, being more self-confident, being stronger, being leaner, feeling better about yourself. So after the memberships, You can just communicate with us on what you want in your programs. Every time you come to the gym, you never have to think about everything. We take everything out of the thinking process of going to the gym. So I want you to come in blank slate every day, and I'm gonna go, hey, come on over here, we're gonna do this. This is what we focus on. I'm gonna make sure you're doing everything right. We're gonna make sure that you have the right pounds that you're using in certain exercises. I'm gonna make sure you're getting, out of range of motion or something that's gonna hurt you. Because if we hurt you, that's the exact opposite of why you came here. We want you to get better, not worse. I want to make sure you go to work tomorrow. I'm not trying to blow you out and give you the hardest workout ever, make you sore, get you sick. We don't want any of that. I want you leaving every day feeling like, hey, you did something hard, but it was doable. You're not going to be so sore the next day that you can't do anything. Now, granted, your first or second week starting something new, you're definitely going to be more sore than usual, but soreness is not our goal. Okay, so that is pretty much our personal group fitness program. There's a million things that I could go on and on and on about how awesome, the training is, how awesome the membership is, all this stuff, that all the benefits you get from all of these things. You really have to experience it for yourself to kind of understand what it is. If you're looking to schedule an initial assessment, you can click below, you can click on our website, can click through how you're reading this. We're going to have a link, whichever way you're watching this video, we're going to have a link attached to it so that you can go learn more about us. If you're feeling comfortable, you say, hey, this is something I want to try, I want to give it a shot, click through, you can fill out your information, we'll reach out to you, we'll schedule a time for you to come in for your initial assessment. There's no pressure, there's no, I want you to want to do it. That's why we don't have the contract, so you can just stop it if it wasn't something that's for you. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out.